Good evening. A group of protesters earlier today gathered outside the Constant Spring police station demanding the removal of the boyfriend of missing social media influencer DONNA-LEE Donaldson from active duty. Here's Truston Grizzle with the details.
Family and friends of 24-year-old DONNA-LEE Donaldson staged another protest outside the Constant Spring police station in St. Andrew this afternoon. The protesters gathered seeking answers from the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF following her disappearance. Miss Donaldson was reported missing on Wednesday, July 13. Her uncle says they need more answers from the relevant authorities.
People of Jamaica, today are 1 week and 1 day since my niece missed. Up till now, we not get nothing concrete. Police say them at work, yes. But I'm not comfortable with the work where I get placed. Nobody up till now, the people, even people, not even family, people are wondering and asking the question, why is it that all know a name don't mention? Why is it that no one has been questioned even though name has been mentioned up to the last person that you live with, alive and well, is still not has been questioned. Must be questioned and removed from frontline duty pending on further investigation as it would have been for anybody else on this planet Jamaica here. We are not trying to mess up the investigation of the police. You understand? We are not trying to contradict anything of the police. We are saying for the family, comfort of the family and the nation that interested to know, why is it that they cannot name a person of interest or a suspect? I am the last person that see my niece alive 5 to 8 minutes to 11 with no doubt. So I know there's someone that is there to be questioned. Okay? So all I'm asking for the relevant authorities step up because I can't stop the protest.
DONNA-LEE's aunt also called on the government to intervene.
I am begging Jamaica, please Jamaica, help us to bring back our niece home. DONNA-LEE, we need her home. She has been taken from us from Monday. And now today is Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, I got her. Today is the 9th day now. We need justice, Jamaica. Mr. Andrew Holiness, you are our Prime Minister. Peter Phillip, you are also a member of Parliament. Whoa, I'm begging you, please help us to get closure, to get justice.
Donaldson's friends and co-workers says more needs to be done to get answers at a faster pace and bring closure to the family.
We are outside of the Constant Spring police station because last week, before we went to the apartment, we were actually at the Halfway Tree police station. But they had told us that if we put cameras on the police themselves, they will take necessary actions. So we marched to the apartment. And a week and a half later, we are seeing that they don't really care about the case. Nothing. We gained absolutely nothing. And the fact that the main person of interest for us, the people, then since they don't have a person of interest, the person of interest for us refused to give a statement. I wouldn't really love that. Yeah, we need some answers. Her mom needs closure. She is extremely sick.
Currently, I do have work, but I decided to stop by because this could have been any one of our family members. I don't have a sister, but I mean, this hit home for me. And then the fact that she used to work where I work, I knew her, but I didn't know her personally. And I don't think anybody deserves this. I don't think the mother deserves this. I don't think anybody should be going through this. Even if so be the case that something happened to her, at least let the mother get her daughter's body. I don't appreciate this. So I decided to stop and protest. So little goes a long way. Jamaica always say, well, look about what's all. So each one teach one, and it can go a far way.
Reporting for Mello TV, I'm Truston Grizzle.
A joint police-military narcotics operation was undertaken in the early hours of this morning in Bogue Village and Westgate Hills in St. James. A similar operation also took place at the Avery apartment complex on Charlemont Avenue in St. Andrew as members of the security forces target major players in the drug trade. The operation, which started early this morning, is being conducted by the JCF Narcotics Division, MOCA, CTOC, the JCF Fugitive Apprehension Team, Financial Investigations Division, DEA, and the United States Marshals. 4 men were initially arrested and high-end vehicles seized following the major multi-agency operation which occurred simultaneously. However, MOCA later announced that a 5th major suspect linked to the local drug trafficking trade has been taken into custody. It's understood that 2 of the suspects were taken into custody on extradition warrants from the United States. According to a senior law enforcement official, this is the first drug-related extradition warrant from the U.S. since 2009, when Christopher Duddas Coke, the Jamaican drug lord, was extradited in 2010. This is a developing story, and Mello TV will bring you more updates in subsequent newscasts. The Jamaica Constabulary Force yesterday confirmed the shooting death of a policeman in Johnson Pen in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Here's Trustin Grizzle with the details.
The Police High Command has condemned the brutal murder of a police constable in the Johnson Pen community in Spanish Town, St. Catherine yesterday. The policeman has been identified as 31-year-old Jermaine Brown, a constable who was assigned to the Spanish Town police station. Brown reportedly went to the community in his private motorcar at about 4:50 p.m. yesterday when gunmen attacked him and shot him several times. He died on the spot. Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police for Area 5, Aaron Fletcher, expressed sincere condolences to the family, friends and colleagues of the slain constable, noting that the police will not be deterred by this latest attack and will continue to work assiduously and focus on ridding communities of guns, gunmen and gangs who cause death, pain and mayhem.
I'm saying we engaged the team at St. Catherine North this morning in a grief counseling session, you know? And from our indication, the deceased member was a member in good standing, loved by his colleagues and the citizenry alike. And so, you know, it is a very painful moment for them. As far as the investigations are concerned, there is some information that has been garnered up at this point. Of course, there are some intense investigations on the way, investigations being led by the Major Investigations Division. And I can only implore those members of the public who may have any information that can assist with investigation to come forward, provide information that you have, assist the police in furtherance of bringing closure to this. What is a heinous crime? We cannot or we should not stand by, sit by and watch the rule of law being eroded. You know, the state through its agent of law enforcement being attacked. You know, it is a poignant indication of the decay that is taking place in our society. And if we stand by, watch this unfold, then soon all of those of us who are watching will have to be fleeing as the crime become more and more pervasive and drives us out of our comfort zone.
ACP Fletcher also asked anyone with information that may assist with this investigation to contact Crime Stop at 311 or the Police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station.
Encouraging and imploring any person with any information that can assist. The normal channels, the 119, you know, the Crime Stop, you know. Any police station that is close to you or with which you are comfortable, engage in any justice of the peace, etc., any upstanding citizen, a minister of religion, anyone who you know has the confidence that you can relate safely. Ask that information and assist us in treating with this one. We need to get these purveyors of criminality off the streets. We don't know who next they'll turn out the concern. We need to get them off the street.
The Force's Chaplaincy Branch and Welfare Department are providing support to the family members, friends and colleagues of Constable Brown. Reporting for Mello TV, I'm Trustin Grizzle.
Dancehall artist MERCILESS is dead. It is reported that the entertainer, whose given name is Leonardo Bartley, arrived at a motel on Walker Avenue, which is near Beechwood Avenue in Kingston, at 1 p.m. yesterday and complained of feeling unwell. He allegedly requested tea, then went to his room. He was checked on just after 5 p.m. and found unresponsive. He was later pronounced dead. Yesterday's passing of well-known dancehall artists has shocked the entertainment industry and is being investigated as a sudden death case, as no foul play is currently suspected. Commander for the St. Andrews Central Police Division, Superintendent Marlon Nesbeth, said the law enforcers were summoned to the establishment around 5:30 p.m. Kevin Thomas, the man who said he was the one who found MERCILESS unresponsive, explained that the entertainer was found reportedly lying face down on the ground.
Country me there from when cause me driving, but me and him party. But from January me the country and me just come back in a town Sunday night and come on him foot and me and him there so till yesterday morning and thing. And when me a go in the morning, me come out of the room and the man come link him in the room and him give me 15 bills, see me lunch money and say, Kevin, hold that car, you don't know. You just get a work and thing, you know what I mean? When him dead, me never me never look. I mean, but him face look swell up on him mouth, frat their mouth and thing. So me just start like cry and thing and turn my face. You know what I mean? Yeah, cause I come and call him and I not hear him and then I call some manager, I call 2 DJ and couple man way. Then see DJ and say no, them not hear from him for last night. So when time a man say from morning him car no move. So me go so boom down and say, John, this looks sad. Me call him people in my country and nobody not hear from him. So when we pull the door now, we shoot off the door and I see the man a ground fall with him head like him a come from the bathroom. You can see a laugh night when he come in him there. Because you see him have a mask and them face so. I hear him stay most time, 3/4 of the time when him there at home. Because he's a man now we're gone a country, so when him come him just book a room and there so. You know what I mean? Because he's a man a Clarendon him living. But through him working at home, him have to go up and down. Say nobody have to go down, say just book a room so, you see me? Same all yesterday, so some more time we there with him and thing. Him just book place to you know what I mean? We there. Because even Sunday night we there, we come link we there and we book a room as I said, you know what I mean? Yeah, because that's how we think it. Me and him right now, we can't even do too much, God knows.
And Mello TV will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. The government is moving to introduce the use of electronic warrants, which will be issued to motorists with outstanding tickets. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck noted over the last 5 years, the police have on average issued more than 500,000 tickets per year.
The police are doing a yeoman job in issuing tickets. Indeed, Madam Speaker, over the last 5 years, we're averaging in excess of 500,000 tickets per year. But Madam Speaker, you have some indisciplined and lawless motorists who feel that these tickets can be ignored. Because, Madam Speaker, more than half of them don't pay. They're collecting traffic tickets like confetti. And the truth, Madam Speaker, is that we in this Parliament, the government, need to respond to ensure that when the police the roads and issue tickets, that they are complied with, because, Madam Speaker, we need discipline and order on the roads.
Mr. Chuck further informed Parliament of the number of ticket cases being brought before the courts and what is actually paid.
Having issued an average of 500,000 tickets per year, as I indicated, less than half of the tickets are paid at the Tax Administration of Jamaica offices. Madam Speaker, an average of 282,000 of these tickets actually go to the courts, because if you fail to pay at the TAJ offices, the summons which you get, the ticket which you get, serves as a summons to come to court. And when these summons after 21 days, Madam Speaker, if it is not paid, then the payment has to be made in the parish courts or the traffic courts. 82,000 tickets on average, Madam Speaker, over the last 5 years. And of that 82,000 tickets, Madam Speaker, less than 70,000, 60,000 are actually paid. It means, Madam Speaker, over 210,000 tickets are not paid. Motorists don't turn up in the courts. And it ends up a burden on the court because these 210,000 tickets, you have to issue warrants. But, Madam Speaker, the motorists who have not paid over the last 5 years and more, let it be noted that we have not given up. We are now, Madam Speaker, looking at electronic, not only electronic ticketing, which has started in Kingston and St. Andrew, but also to issue warrants electronically. So writing up these tickets, signing these tickets will now be easier, so the warrants will be available.
Mr. Chuck also noted that when the provisions of the Road Traffic Act come into effect in a matter of months or weeks, outstanding tickets will have to be paid before licenses can be renewed.
We want to put in place the issuing of electronic warrants, and these can be enforced and will be enforced. But moreover, Madam Speaker, in a matter of weeks or months, when the 2018 Act comes into operation, after this Act that we hope to pass today, assists in ensuring that the 2018 Road Traffic Act comes into operation, there are provisions, Madam Speaker, in this 2018 Act which will make it almost compulsory for motorists who want to continue to drive or to use their vehicles, that they must pay the tickets, otherwise they either can't drive or they can't use the motor vehicle that actually was used when the ticket was issued. So the effect of it, colleagues in this House, is that motorists who feel they get away because they hire a driver who collect traffic tickets, on these traffic tickets, the license number of the motor vehicle that was used is there, and these license numbers will be used to fix the penalties will be put against them, and if the penalties are not paid, then those motor vehicles will not be relicensed when this Act fully comes into operation in a matter of weeks or months.
Meanwhile, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Darrell Voss said discussions have been taking place regarding the funding that will be required for eGov Jamaica Limited to be able to put together the system. And customers of the Students' Loan Bureau, the SLB, will soon be able to check their loan balances on the SLB's customer portal. Speaking with GIS News, Deputy Executive Director of the Students' Loan Bureau, Charmaine Rose Anderson, said the option to check loan balances will be offered later this year. The efforts come as several customers complained of not being able to see their loan balances and have to constantly be calling the agency. Mrs. Anderson added that individuals will be able to download their statements at any time at their own convenience. Further to the announcement, she noted that guarantors will be kept informed on the progress and performance of the loans they guarantee, given that they are legally responsible for the loan. The checking of loan balances is a new feature of the Strategic Transformation of End-User Experience Portal, STEEP, or Customer Portal. To use STEEP, new customers are required to sign up to create a portal account, while returning customers will be asked to log in using their email address they have filed on the SLB. They will be prompted to change their passwords, and emails are sent to returning students to guide them through the process. A one-time passcode will be sent to the customer's email addresses and mobile numbers used to sign up the process. The email address will now become the new username. Now, in other news this evening, Jamaica has been identified as the third most exposed country to multiple hazards. The revelation was made by Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Desmond McKenzie.
Geographically, Jamaica is highly vulnerable to disaster. Approximately 82% of the population, 70% of all major industries, including tourism, agriculture, are located in coastal areas which are especially exposed to hazards. The Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery has identified Jamaica, Madam Speaker, and I want the country to take stock. The International Disaster Organization, as Madam Speaker, recognized Jamaica as the third most exposed country in the world to multiple hazards, Madam Speaker. The third. So it's not just hurricane, flooding. It is all the natural disasters, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are vulnerable to hurricane. And I want to advise the country that with an average loss estimated 67.3 million US, or 0.5% of GDP, Madam Speaker, is lost whenever the country is impacted, Madam Speaker.
In light of the information Minister McKenzie yesterday tabled in the House of Representatives, Jamaica's Comprehensive Disaster Risk Management Policy and Strategy 2020 to 2040 Green Paper. In his remarks, Mr. McKenzie said the essential purpose of this policy is to ensure that by the year 2040, Jamaica will have strengthened its social and economic resilience against natural disasters.
Madam Speaker, the tabling of the Comprehensive Disaster Risk Management Policy 2020-2024 in this House is an historical moment, Madam Speaker. This is the very first time that a long-term national disaster risk management policy has been developed for Jamaica and is consistent with our national and regional and global commitment, Madam Speaker. This is the document for the first time in Jamaica's history. We are tabling this document, Madam Speaker. The essential purpose of this document is to ensure that by the year 2040, 17 and a half years from now, Madam Speaker, Jamaica will have strengthened its social and economic resilience and significantly reduce the negative effects of national disaster caused by natural hazard, man-made disaster, and biological hazards, Madam Speaker. While it would appear that the case for developing this policy is self-evident, it is important to state that a range of factors, including Jamaica's historical vulnerability to disaster, the pace of our movement towards full disaster resilience, and the need for firmly establishing the financial foundations for disaster risk reductions are amongst the most prominent.
He hinted at the government's intention to put in place a plan that will ensure the country's financial capability of responding effectively to disasters.
The financial foundation to sustain disaster risk resilience is an important stepping stone that is laid by this government. And very shortly, the Minister of Finance will be tabling in this House another document, Madam Speaker, that will speak to Jamaica's financial stability to afford us the privilege to respond whenever there is a disaster. This is a move, Madam Speaker, a progressive move by the government.
Mr. McKenzie stated that the comprehensive disaster risk management policy reflects the government's strategic approach and will guide the integration of disaster risk management into development planning across all sectors and industries. Opposition spokesperson on local government Natalie Nita Garvey welcomed the tabling of the document, noting that it is, quote, very timely, end quote. And those are the stories making the news. I'm Nicole Hales. Thanks for watching.